Hey everybody, Kale here from Zero Tolerance, and I got a new video here where I walk through creating a custom false bottom for this rectangular cooler here. And this false bottom is mainly being built because of the grains that we brew with when you're brewing gluten-free beer, so things like millet, of course. This took me several weeks to end up where I am today, and so I walk through that in the video, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Hey everybody, in the brew house, otherwise known as my garage, and I'm going to try to turn this stainless steel 304 12 by 24 sheet, perforated sheet that I got from Online Metals into a false bottom for my rectangular cooler. Let's make a template out of this cardboard that fits right down in that mash tun. Got it? Mm-hmm. All right, I got my protection, got my metal marked, got 10 fingers right now. Hopefully that continues to be the case. So let's give this a shot. Looks like I need another blade. All right, moment of truth. I just used an angle grinder to cut this sheet of perforated stainless steel. My new false bottom. Let's see if it fits. All right, looking good. Hey all, I'm working on my custom false bottom for my rectangular mash tun today. And what I've got here is the sheet that I cut out of 304 stainless steel perforated steel. It was a 12 by 24 sheet, 20 gauge. And what I wanted to do was to add on top of this, so that the grains that we brew with don't go through this, an additional 1000 micron sheet, and lay this on top of here and cut them to fit inside this cooler. So I've cut both of these to match the inside of the cooler, and what I'm going to do is just fit these on top of each other with these stainless steel cotter pins. And once I get these on there, I should be able to pop this in to the cooler, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Okay, I've got my 1000 micron sheet cut to fit my cooler on top of my 304 stainless steel perforated sheet. Now I did this again because the grains that I brew with, when we mill them, typically they would fall through the first sheet. Things like millet especially is really small, so to get it to not do that, to put this additional 1000 micron sheet on top of here is going to allow that to filter through without having the grains go into the bottom part of the mash tun. My mash tun, let me show you a little bit about what I have going on here, is a rectangular cooler. Back up here. And this cooler, I've built out a bulkhead on the front, pretty standard stuff. And in the inside, what I've done is I've built this CPVC manifold. Let me pull this out so you can see it. So this manifold has a bunch of cuts on it to drain the wort, and when I'm recirculating during the mash, or if I'm draining the wort into the kettle, this allows for a lot of the grains not to get in there. So what I've been doing, let me fit this back in here. What I've been doing prior to what I have now is I've been using this this grain bag right here, and just fitting it over the cooler, and using that as a way to not get my grain in the bottom of the tun. What happens is that this bag, when I'm recirculating with a pump, this bag will suck down into this manifold, and it will cause big problems where I will have to stop the pump and either pull this bag back up. It's just a real big hassle. So what I am doing instead is building this guy right here. So what this does is it just sits right on top of the CPVC manifold, and I've already used this without this new 1000 micron screen on top. I've used it with the grain bag, and it works great. I'm going to try to do my next brew without the grain bag at all and just use this 1000 micron sheet on top. So that's a little bit about what I did. I just custom cut with an angle grinder and some snips to cut the 1000 micron sheet to fit it exactly into this template of this cooler, and it's working great so far. Hey everybody, so I just wanted to recap here about this custom false bottom here that I just made here for my rectangular cooler. So some of the questions would be, well, why would you go and make something like this, right? So for me, I wanted to get something that would help with the issues I have during recirculation of the mash when I'm doing all grain brew. Specifically, because I'm brewing with gluten-free grains like millet, rice, buckwheat, and the size of those, I had to custom build this to have it something special and different than what you commonly see out there for mash tun false bottoms. So yeah, typical mash tun false bottom is just going to be this 304 perforated sheet, but that just does not cut it. I think people have seen that on the Grainfather and the custom screens that Gluten-Free Home Brewing builds. And I wanted to build something like that for this rectangular cooler. So I think it's going to work great. It would be nice to add something like a handle to this to be able to pull it in and out very easily, but I think this is going to work great for right now. I've used it for a couple of brews already and had a lot of good success. So from a cost standpoint, something like this, I think I spent about 80 bucks on Amazon for the perforated sheet, another 40 bucks for the 1,000 micron sheet, and just a couple bucks for the cotter pins, right? So it is, there is some cost involved into building something like this, but to resolve the pump issues that I have during Vorlauf and my recirculation, I think it's totally worth it because I don't have to sit and babysit during that whole process when I'm recirculating. Let me know if you have any questions or in the comments, and thanks for watching.